now. Hey everybody, AcidBrain64 here, and welcome back to another part of Let's Play Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. In the last part, we collected some stuff before we do these next two dungeons, and in this part, we're going to go ahead and do those. So, I don't remember if it was between this part and the previous part, because I'm actually recording this, I'd say almost about a week after I recorded the last parts. And I had already tried to record this part, but it just did not go very well. I struggled so much at this dungeon, and it took me like about 25 minutes to get through it. And the commentary was just... bleh. I didn't even really talk. I'm just like, oh, I gotta go over here. Oh, damn it, this is not the way. Shit, fuck. It was really bad. And I was honestly ashamed of that recording. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just not even gonna, I just scrapped it, threw it away, and now I don't have to worry about it. But this dungeon was the main cause of that, and I don't know what it was, but, oh, that's not the spell I meant to use. I'm gonna use Bombos on these guys. But I just cannot find my way around this dungeon, and it's probably gonna be maybe not the worst. Hopefully, this is the only dungeon that'll give me trouble. But what I actually did between this part and the last part... Oh, by the way, what I was trying to say earlier, I actually went and upgraded the bombs and the arrows all the way up. Now, I don't know if I've mentioned that already in the Let's Play, but yeah. I don't know if I mentioned that in the last part or if it was between this part and the last part. But I went ahead and upgraded the bombs and arrows all the way, so now we have, 50 bombs and 70 arrows. Or that's our max. We don't actually have it right now. But I wanted to do that because, well, first off, just to get it out of the way, and, the next few dungeons we are going to be using arrows more frequently. And also what I did before recording this part is I actually went and watched a little bit of Nintendo Capri Sun's Let's Play of this game that he did like quite a few years back, and I watched him play through this dungeon, and he finished it in like 5 minutes, and I'm like, holy crap. So now I know the correct way to go, and so I'm gonna try and blaze through this dungeon. And actually, there's another dungeon, the swamp dungeon, which kind of replaces the... Shit, I don't know if I'm supposed to fall through there or not. I don't remember that part. I guess it's not gonna hurt. Oh yeah, this is the way, okay. But what was I saying? Shit. I completely forgot what I was talking about. Yeah, I was watching Nintendo Capri Sun's Let's Play of this. Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about. There is another dungeon that I actually watched him play through, and he went through it like it was nothing. And that dungeon always gives me trouble, so these two dungeons are going to be the only ones that I actually kind of cheat at, I want to say, but I don't really think it's a bad thing all that much. Because if the dungeons are giving me troubles, and I look up a guide for them, and I can get through the dungeon quicker, and not have to make a 20-minute part for a dungeon, then that's good. So it's going to be that way for the next, or for not the next two dungeons, but this dungeon and a later dungeon. But anyway, so I hope you've been following what I've done. Basically, you come through this passage right here, you get the big key, then you come back out, you go through that hole over there, you bomb that wall, you get the fire rod, which is the item we got for this dungeon, and then you can come back through here, and we've actually got to get back to the boss, or towards where the boss is. Now, this dungeon is really interesting and unique because, unlike all the other dungeons of the game, you actually have to go outside through it. Now, you do actually have to do that in a later dungeon, but on a much smaller scale, and you'll see what I mean when we get there. but it's, you know, it's not the same, but it's kind of the same. You do go outside of the dungeon at one point, but not for a huge reason. I think you just go out there to get to the next room, if that makes sense, but we'll see that when we get there. But this dungeon as a kid, I remember the first time I actually played through this dungeon, and you cannot dodge that ball, I don't think. Well, I just did there, so I just proved myself wrong. But I remember playing through this dungeon on the Game Boy Advance version as a kid, and I used to have this game on Game Boy Advance, as I just kind of made clear, and I used to go to a daycare, which is where I met my best friend, and I am literally copying NCS's every move, pretty much, for this dungeon. But yeah, I met my best friend at this daycare. But anywho, I remember playing through this dungeon at that daycare, and the boss of this dungeon gave me so much trouble as a kid. And when I finally beat it, I was ecstatic. I don't think I fully realized how useful fairies could be. So I just kind of went, I'm just going to go through here. I'm going to die. I'm going to start back out at the entrance, come in here with like 6 hearts, and just try to do it. And it did not work out so well. And I died so much at this boss. So I hate it, but it's not that bad once you realize how to utilize all of your resources, if that makes sense. Okay, don't hit me. Oh, thank God. The stupid spiraling things that turn you into a bunny. I hate those. Okay, so that guy is going to have a key. I remember that. Let me come through here. And basically, this is the last room of the dungeon, because we fall down here and we can find our boss. Mothula! Not to be mistaken with the Godzilla Mothula. So this thing, you can pretty much destroy it if you can use a fire rod. It's all just a matter of coming here with enough magic. Holy crap. But if you can't use magic, then you can just use your sword on it. Yeah, because that's probably what I'm going to have to do. Yeah. Yeah, but it's not... Oh, there we go. See? Not that bad. If you can get a couple shots in on the fire rod, because I believe it does more damage than this sword and the next sword also. So, this is probably going to be the fastest dungeon I complete, and I'm okay with that because I had that failed recording. And so this is kind of making up for it. Alright, so that is the 3rd dungeon down. We've got 3 or 4 more to go. Link, because of you, I can escape from the clutches of the evil monsters. Thank you. Do you know the prophecy of the Great Cataclysm? This is the way I heard it. If a person who has an evil heart gets the Triforce, the hero is destined to appear. Man, we've heard this thing so many times, just in different versions, and he alone must face the person who began the Great Cataclysm. If the evil one destroys the hero, nothing can save the world from his wicked reign. Only a person of the Knights of Hyrule, who protected the royalty of Hylia, can become the hero. You are of their bloodline, aren't you? Then you must rescue Zelda without fail. Do you understand? Yes, I do. Okay, so that is 3 dungeons down. I think 4 more to go. Let's check our map real quick. Yep, 4 more to go. Alright, so that's going to be it for this part. It's going to be kind of short, but I just wanted to make up for that failed recording, and I just want to be done with this dungeon. So next time on Let's Play Legend of Zelda Link to the Past, we will go ahead and clear out the next dungeon, which is also not that long, and it's actually fairly easy in my opinion. But anyways, I will see you guys then.